guys, Nikki here with Dive into Curiosity. And we're going to go ahead and continue to dive into China. So for this episode, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do mythical beings. Some of them are classified in certain ways, but I did a lot of, when doing research, there's a lot of similarities depending on the region, but there are a lot of definite ones. So I went ahead and wanted to do the video on definite ones. So a lot of these are mythical beings. A lot of these are, as well as animals that are still mythical beings that have certain roles in the Chinese culture. So we'll go ahead and do that, and it'll be anywhere from 14 to 15 different creatures. And then the next episode that I want to make is going to be on superstitions, and to wrap up for now with China, and I say for now because there's over hundreds of different mythological beings, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do monsters, ghosts, and malicious creatures. So a lot of these creatures that we're going to discuss today are very kind. They are representation for things like luck and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So we're going to start off with the phoenix, because everybody's heard of a phoenix, but in Chinese culture it's Feng Huang. I'm pretty sure it's Feng Huang is how it's said. And it's a pheasant that has 5 colors of plumage and a tail like a peacock. It's gorgeous. Now, of course, the phoenix represents a lot of luck and things like that. And it's a beast. I say beast. It's a creature that's represented in a lot of different folklore, and as well as like shrouds and things like that. There are 4 beasts or creatures that represent the directions such as east, west, north, and south. And so starting off, the azure dragon represents east, and it represents spring and wood. So it represents the direction of east, it represents the season of spring, and it also represents the element of wood. Moving on, the white tiger represents west, autumn, and metal. Black tortoise represents north, winter, and water. And the vermilion bird represents south, summer, and fire. So those are the directional creatures. A lot of different cultures have certain creatures that represent certain directions and elements. So that's China's. Now moving on, we have some mythological creatures that I wanted to go over because I thought they were really cool and unique. There's many variations of these creatures or beings. And from what I find, there's a lot of what I call hybrids in the Chinese culture. So they're a mix of different kinds of body parts, kind of like a chimera. Exactly like a chimera. So we have Qilin. Qilin has the body of an elk, has a lion's head, deer horns or antlers, tiger eyes, and an oxtail. Now, this specific creature left a book of jade telling the Chinese people that Confucius is a reincarnation of the god of water and that he was qualified to be king. So he brought a message, she brought a message, and they are also representation of luck, happiness. They're very powerful, and they are known to bring adorable, cute babies to couples that pray to have a child. And so on to the next creature is Jufeng, and it's a type of phoenix. So there's a lot of different birds that can be considered as like firebirds or phoenixes, or just like a very mythical bird in the Chinese culture. I stumbled along at least 5 of them. Crazy cool, but a lot of them have similar but different things and ways that they look. This one has 9 heads, and it's incredibly colorful, and it represents happiness and prosperity. So keep in mind that a lot of these creatures, whenever you see like the hybrid creatures or creatures with multiple different kinds of animal parts, and they're on things like they're on shrouds, or they're on like paper or wood, or they're carved out of stone, these are luck charms, prosperity charms. These are things that people use as a representation for that creature, but also what that creature brings to them too. So keep that in mind. Then we have the Chongming. Is another bird. It's rooster-like, but it has 2 eyeballs to each eye, and it howls like a phoenix. So it scares monsters and aggressive creatures away from people. It's protection, obviously, if it scares monsters and creatures away. And a lot of people would paint them on roofs and doors. Like I said, used as a symbol for protection or whatever they bring to people. So that makes sense. And then we have the Zeng. Zeng, leopard shaped with 5 tails and a strong horn. It lives in huge mountains with pine trees and hard stones, and it howls like thunder. It doesn't harm any people, but this is a very like masculine, neat creature that a lot of Chinese people, I pretty much guarantee, have like drawings of, stories of, and things like that. It's a very masculine, very cool creature. And we have the Shanghong, fox with white like antlers. It's mysterious, it's not aggressive, but for some odd reason loves humans. Very affectionate, and would love to have humans basically ride them like a horse, and just very loving and helpful creatures. And we have the Lusho or Lushu, body of a horse with a white head, tiger stripes on the body, and a red tail. When it howls, it sounds like a human singing folk songs. This is another representation of luck. It's pretty cool. Shuhu, human head with a snake tail, horse body, and bird wings. Also loves humans and lets them ride on them like horses as well. So, very affectionate creature as well. And then we have 3, I want to say like, just like, kind of seem like pet, like animals. We have the jade rabbit. It's called Tiango. Divine beast, and it symbolizes the moon. It accompanies the moon goddess. It is her friend. I would go ahead and say friend. And then you have heavenly dog, celestial dog, black dog, causes eclipses because it's always trying to eat the sun and the moon. But people would bang gongs and light firecrackers to scare him away, so that way he wouldn't eat the moon. And of course, fox spirits. I always notice that in the Chinese and Japanese culture, there's a lot of fox spirits. Fox and bird spirits. But it's interesting because there's a lot of different kinds of fox spirits. We have the ones that are very, very nice, and we have the ones that are kind of not nice. So that is all for today, you guys. But please stay tuned because I'm going to go ahead and bring on some superstitions coming up. And then after that, it'll be thriller, horror stories, kind of like horror stories, but like monsters, ghost stories, basically horror stories. And diving more into just creatures that maybe aren't so nice, but are still pretty interesting from the Chinese culture. So stay with me, guys, and if you could hit that button to let me know what you guys think, if you like it, and then if you have any questions, leave a comment below, as well as I do have an Instagram that I'm going to be trying to update for the logo. So any art that I do for this channel will be on there. And just have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay curious.